Romans chapter 2 earlier, and it made me think of the many Christians who have fallen away and cast blame upon the church, upon others, for their falling away. They cite arrogance and self-righteousness, unholiness, ungodliness. They cite a lack of mercy and grace and forgiveness. They talk about how Christians are often self-righteous and judgmental. But in Romans chapter 2, the Apostle Paul says that when we judge others and ourselves are guilty of the same things, we're storing up wrath against ourselves against the day of God's judgment. I mean, do we, verse 4, take lightly the kindness and the forbearance and the patience of God, knowing that the kindness of God leads to repentance? Instead of being faithful and being the example that we need to be, instead of being loving and merciful and gracious and kind and long-suffering and forgiving, we judge and we allow the actions of others to cause us to fall away. Paul will go on in Romans chapter 6 to say that you have control over your actions. Nobody else determines those things. You have control. You yield to yourself, or yield yourself to sin or to godliness. It's natural for mankind to blame others for what has happened to them and how they respond. Eve did it in the garden, so did Adam. Cain was angry with his brother. And God tells Cain that while sin crouches at your door, you have control over it. You must master it. But Cain didn't do that. Cain blamed his brother and then killed him. Friends, we need to understand that sometimes we're going to be hurt. Christians don't always act the way they should. Preachers, elders, congregations, husbands, wives, children, parents, they don't always act the way they should or do the things or say the things that they should. But we can't do the same thing back to them and then judge them for it, because then we become just like them instead of becoming like Christ. He's our example. His love, His mercy, His grace, His forgiveness, His kindness, His patience. Those are the things that we need to be developing as we strive to remain faithful and spend eternity with Him in heaven.